What's up, Bears Nation? Football's back, baby. Let's freaking go. And if you're a Bears fan, the preseason started out with a W for you. We won 23-17 against the Tennessee Titans in our first preseason game. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick recap of that game while giving my key takeaways. So stay tuned.
Chicago Chit Chat. Titans versus Bears, Week 1.
So the beginning of the game started off as every game starts with a coin flip. The Tennessee Titans won that coin flip and decided to receive to get the ball first to see what their offense looks like. One kind of interesting note that I had on the game was that the Tennessee Titans were alternating back and forth between Will Levis and Malik Willis at quarterback. Malik Willis was out there first. I did think this was kind of an interesting tactic, a little bit different, but I kind of liked it to try to figure out who the backup to Ryan Tannehill is going to be. This was a kind of a fun way to do that. I'm not going to talk about the Titans too much, but I will say that I think Malik Willis won the day. Will Levis had a couple of good throws, but Malik Willis had a higher floor for the day, I'll say. So on the opening kickoff, the Bears had solid coverage on the play. I will say, I'm not going to talk about special teams too much, but I will say that the special teams unit had pretty good, performed pretty well overall. They had good coverage. The one negative thing for our special teams unit was that Velus Jones Jr. had another muff punt for the day. I don't want to overreact too much. I think that he should get a couple more attempts at it, especially during the preseason, just to see what he's made of, if he can come back from it. But I will say that if he muffs another punt during the regular season, early in the regular season, like if he goes like 15 games without muffing a punt, has like 10 returns for a touchdown, then I'm not going to complain, right? If he muffs one more punt. But if he muffs one early in the season without really doing anything or proving anything, I think that would lose his opportunity to return any more punts or kickoffs. Anyways, let's get back to the first drive. So I'm just going to talk about defense at first. After the opening kickoff, Kyler Gordon just laid down the smack on one of their receivers. Dude falls, ball comes out. They ruled it down by contact, which it was. I mean, after reviewing the play, it was down by contact. But still, it was a great first play to start off the game. It really kind of set the tone. After this hit, you could just feel the energy on the whole team, on the whole sideline. Everyone was kind of really getting crazy. I feel like the whole fan base was going crazy. I was going crazy on my couch. And you could feel like this kind of contagious energy was going to continue throughout the whole game. And then the next play in the drive, Tyreek Stevenson, number 29, our rookie cornerback, we got to see him for the first time, and he made a great open field tackle. I think it was like a 5-yard pass. Tyreek Stevenson stopped him dead in his tracks, and he was tackled. Just a great open field tackle. And then a couple plays later, after the Tyreek Stevenson tackle, Kyler Gordon had another smack on a Titans wide receiver. He hit the ball right as it looked like the receiver caught it, in my opinion. And then he kind of tackled him with his helmet right where the ball was. The ball popped up. Bears recovered it, but they called it an incomplete pass, so it's a pass breakup for Kyler Gordon. But Eberflus did decide to challenge this play. He threw the red challenge flag. And I thought this was a great decision by Eberflus because, it looked like it could have possibly been a fumble. It looked like the receiver he got 2 feet down and he caught the ball, so it looked like a catch to me. But either way, it's kind of it's going to be practice for Eberflus as well. He did end up losing the challenge, unfortunately, so it ended up being just an incomplete pass, still a pass breakup for Kyler Gordon. But it is practice for Eberflus as well, and it's a good opportunity to run through the mechanics for that kind of stuff. So the rest of the Titans drive did have a few decent run plays. But I kept on noting down that Tyreek Stevenson was making plays out there. He had a couple of great open field tackles, which you need to have as a cornerback in the NFL. So it's nice to see that. And he also did have some pass breakups, at least 2 that I noted down, one of which he probably could have intercepted. He probably wants that one back, so he could have intercepted it and possibly been a pick six. But either way, he was just making plays out there, and it's really nice to see one of our higher draft pick rookies out there making plays. But just to touch on some of the negatives real quick too, our run defense is still questionable, especially on the first drive with our first string defense out there pretty much. Wasn't able to stop the run. And we were without Tremaine Edmonds and Jaquan Brisker, who I think are going to be key contributors in the run defense. But either way, I would like to see this get cleaned up the next game. And then just a couple of positive notes to touch on. We did have 8 total sacks for the day, which is just just amazing. We did have 2 from the defensive end, Terrell Lewis. 1 from my guy Zach Pickens, who I drafted in my not my fantasy draft, but in my mock draft. And then 1 from Travis Gibson as well. And then so Travis Gibson had a hell of a game. He was Fox's player of the game, which I just love to see. I didn't see a whole lot from Rasheem Green this game, and I did see Travis Gibson impressed. So I will be expecting Gibson to get more first-team reps against the Colts this Saturday. He's a guy that I've always liked, and I hope he makes this roster. It's going to be a fight, but I do hope he makes this roster. All right, and then moving on to the offense. So Fields was out there throwing bombs today. He was 3 for 3 for 129 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. So, but if you look at the total air yards, Justin Fields threw for -7 yards because he threw 2 screen passes, 1 to DJ Moore that DJ Moore took for a touchdown, 1 to Khalil Herbert that he took for a touchdown, and then he had 1 to Kari Blasingame for a little out route, which obviously I love to see all those plays, but I was actually the most excited about the first one. The first pass was to Kari Blasingame on the little flat route that he ran. And I was excited about this because we didn't really utilize Blasingame that much in the passing attack last year, so I'm excited to see that moving forward. So Fields is looking pretty good. DJ Moore looks good every day ever apparently, and Khalil Herbert also looking solid in the first string offense. Although he did kind of bobble that pass, that little screen pass that he had. And then for players that actually touched the ball, I will also mention Roschon Johnson. He looked pretty good with the ball in his hand. He had some pretty solid hard runs, which you'd like to see. Looking for someone to replace that David Montgomery role. And I think Roschon Johnson is more than capable to do that. So PJ Walker didn't look all that good today. He did throw an interception. I'm not going to freak out too much about PJ Walker. I think as he gets to familiarize himself with the rest of the players, then he'll start to look better. So number 13, Tyler Scott, also had 1 catch, but he also fumbled it. He had one catch and 1 fumble, so that's not great for him. I'm also going to give Tyler Scott a break, though, because he was if you watch the interview before the game, I think maybe it was a day or 2 before the game, he was very nervous going into this game. He was very excited to be on the Bears team, and I love Tyler Scott. Everything that I've seen, everything I've heard from him, he just seems like a super intelligent guy. So I'm excited for him. I'm going to give him a break on that fumble. But you got to protect the ball. I'm just going to chalk that up to first game jitters. So that's kind of all I noticed for the offense on that game. They didn't have a ton going on. Justin Fields was only out there for 2 drives. So just a few things I wanted to look out for the next preseason game. Number 1, obviously, I just want to see more passing from Justin Fields. He doesn't necessarily need to be throwing bombs or anything like that, but just having more pass attempts. I think that obviously being out on the field longer is going to help with that. Hopefully he'll be in the whole first half of this next game against the Colts, but I imagine at least the first quarter. And then number 2, what I want to see for the next game is the better run blocking and just better running in general. We did have a few decent rushing attempts, but let's tighten up the blocking assignments and get more chunk plays from the run game. And I know what you're thinking, Mr. Chit Chat, you want more of the passing game and more of a rushing game? Yes, I do. All right, and then number 3, I do want to see Velus Jones Jr. out there, and I want him receiving all kickoffs and all punts for the first half. He needs to be challenged. I think he just needs more attempts. I know that we want to look at other players too, but really, I think if you believe in Velus Jones, I feel like they do believe in Velus Jones to have that explosive playability. And if that's the case, you need to get him out there in real game situations and just have him field everything, kickoffs and punts, in my opinion. I feel like the third game is going to be trying to fill up the back end of the roster. So the second game, we need to establish who our starters are in certain areas. And I feel like after that last game, Velus Jones didn't set himself aside to be that punt returner or kickoff returner. I don't know why they don't have him on kickoffs. I feel like he's more explosive there. But anyway, I would like to see him on kickoffs and punt return for the first half. Get him that exposure, and let's see if he can just like secure the ball, keep it safe, and possibly get some run backs. And then next up, I do want to see Tyler Scott getting more reps with the first team, or just some reps with the first team. I'd like to see him get at least 4 targets or so. Again, just to get him comfortable, because obviously because of the jitters, he's going to be, get him as many touches as you can get him. So to help him get over that hump of the jitters, and just make him feel more comfortable. And last but not least, I would like to see the Travis Gibson versus Rasheem Green battle. In my opinion, Rasheem Green didn't really show out much in the first game, and I thought Travis Gibson made a very strong case for him to make this team. So I would like to see that more, maybe flip those two guys, have Travis Gibson get more reps with the first team, and Rasheem Green get more reps with the second and possibly third string. All right, so that's going to do it for my Bears versus Titans recap video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and leave a comment below whether or not you think that Travis Gibson is going to replace Rasheem Green as the first string defensive end. And until next time, bear down, Chicago. What's up, Bears Nation? Blah, blah. What's up, Bears Nation? Okay, so that's going to do it for my preseason week 1 Titans versus Bears recap. Yeah, nailed it. And until next time, babadoo, babadibadoo, Chicago. What's up, Bears Nation? Huh? What's up?